How's it going, guys? Welcome to Audio Addiction. We have Action Adventure with us tonight. They can say their names and what they do in the band.
Hey, what's up? I'm Blake. I do vocals in Action Adventure.
Hey, what's up? I'm Brompton. I do guitar and some vocals.
There we go. Well, Blake and Brompton, thank you for joining me tonight. Been digging your stuff a lot. The new album is fantastic. I'll leave links below. Go check it out. I don't really know too much in regards to the history of your band, so this is the perfect time to get acquainted with that. How did Action Adventure start out? What is like the origin story of the band?
Oh, Blake, we're getting pretty good at this one.
Oh yeah.
So me and Oren and Adrian have been playing music together for quite some time, since we were like in high school.
Okay.
So we've been in and out of bands together probably for like the past like 17 or 18 years. So that's pretty cool. And then we ended up meeting up with Manny because Oren's current wife at the time, girlfriend, in college had a mutual friend with Manny. So then Manny kind of got into our friend group, and originally Adrian and Manny had like a little project that they were doing. And then when me and Adrian and Oren started what would eventually become Action Adventure, we, asked Manny like, hey, do you want to play bass? So we started jamming and stuff, and it was cool. The vibes were on. And then I was doing all of the singing at that point. And
oh, wow.
I was like, yeah, I kind of want to like play more guitar. So then Adrian was like, yeah, I'm gonna look. I got an idea. I'm gonna look on Craigslist.
Oh, that's always a great idea.
Yes,
precisely. And so for me, I was at the time looking for bands. I was in and out of bands, and I was just really missing playing.
Sure.
So I hit the classifieds on Craigslist, and I responded to this really minimally written ad that just said 20 somethings looking for singer. Like, that was the title.
Missing
Yeah,
misconnections.
He's like, oh, here's our SoundCloud, whatever at the time. Then it was like some demos. And I remember I like responded to him, and I was like, hey man, my name is Blake. Here's like my resume. Here's all the bands I've been in. Here's like all the shows I've played. Here's like a track of my my current band. Let me know what you think. And he responds just like one word, just like tight. Like, all right, cool. So I at the time I drove 45, 50 minutes to meet up with these guys.
Oh man.
We ended up kicking it off, and here we are 8 years later.
There
7, 8 years later, I'm kind of like losing track.
almost. This is gonna be 8.
I've been saying 8 now, so.
I feel like if you're like at that precipice to just say 8,
For
because
sure.
I've been doing this for 7 years, even though technically I haven't officially done it for 7 years, but until February, then it will actually be 7 years. So I feel that it's like close enough. Just people know.
Here we are.
But I feel like Craigslist is just the underrated hero in like every band success story. I don't know how. I honestly would love to know like the metrics on like how many people like just wind up being like, I don't know, this seems a little sketchy, So I always find that there is somewhat good success stories in regards to like having bands on and stuff with Craigslist. So I don't want to put that out there and saying you should use Craigslist, but I would say the vibes are somewhat good, so keep it at that.
I feel like we just totally lucked out. we really lucked out. I mean, like, Blake came to Oren's parents' house at the time where we were like jamming, and like, he came downstairs and like we were playing Smash, and he was like, oh, you guys play Smash too? And
Okay,
and it was just one of those things where it was like, oh, all of our common interests are like.
It was sick, yeah. Y'all had Project M too, which was crazy.
Woo! All right.
At the time, I was like, what? All these skills? I was like, it was crazy, yeah, and like, it was tight, and everyone showed up to play, which was great.
Again, Smash 2 brings people together. I got a good question for you guys later that I'll unlock. It's DLC right now, so you gotta pay to play. But I think it's really cool. And the other thing that really got me into your band as well, too, like as someone who is Korean, I feel like for me, I love the fact that you guys have this representation behind you. It's not very often that I get to have bands that have that sort of like representation. So how does it feel for you guys? Because I imagine, obviously it's not something that comes up, I'm sure, all the time, but people that know your band are like, oh shit, like this is great. Like I love the fact that, there's a lot of representation in your band. Do you feel like, obviously that wasn't your intention with starting the band, but how does that make you guys feel as like being in a band and having people be like, yeah, this is sick. This is awesome. Thank you.
Well, first of all, thank you for acknowledging that it was not intentional.
You
It absolutely was not
just showed
intentional.
up. You're just like, yeah. So we're gonna put a band. Only like non-white people are gonna be in the band.
People have said that that's what we did.
What? Oh no! I was just saying it as just like, because I felt like that was the right thing to say, not because I thought that you got. I had no.
No. Yeah, but
For sure. No, it's dope that you like mentioned that.
yes,
Because people, we've heard those comments being like, "Wow, you guys just so happened to be."
Yeah,
Like,
man.
yeah, we actually just so
You just
happened.
you just woke up. You're like, man. You know what? I'm feeling. I'm like, I'm gonna be Asian today. That's
Yeah.
that's the vibe. That's the
yeah,
vibes today.
definitely.
But anyway, how does that, obviously, that comes with some caveats, but in terms of people that have come up to you and have been genuine about it, do you find that to just be like I'm sure it must be like a heartwarming thing, and obviously, bring some tears to your eyes? Because I think for me, like, that's how I think about doing YouTube. I'm like, man, I don't see any people like me doing this in that sort of aspect. So I find that for me, whenever I have other people on that are, people of color, I think that's always a really cool thing, and obviously would love to highlight it. So how does that make you guys feel?
I think it's great. I love when people are able to resonate with what we're doing, and when the songs resonate with them, and when we are able to resonate with them as people. I feel like we're a pretty personable group of people, and we're just like regular guys. So like we'll play a set, and then we'll go hang out at merch, and people will come up to us and talk and be like, oh, it's so cool to like see people who look like me up there. And
Yeah,
and then,
yeah,
then like I relate to that because when I was growing up going to shows in the scene, I didn't really have that.
sure,
There
yeah,
was a select few. I mean, me and I was lucky enough to be with Oren and Adrian, who are also of darker complexion.
sure, yeah,
But I mean, me and Adrian would very regularly play Count the Black People at these shows. Like how
yeah.
many other ones are there? And so it's cool. It's pretty cool to hear stuff like that.
What
Yeah,
about you,
like,
Blake?
yeah. I mean, similar sentiments, man. It's crazy because like one comment that we continue to get all the time is, "I wish I had you guys in high school." We get that a
Yeah,
lot, and
yeah,
it's a crazy feeling, man. Because it's like, again, like I also never really had that in high school. It's one of those things like you had the 2 to 3 bands that had someone that looked like you already had them on the
and then you're
ready.
like, oh my
Yeah,
god, what the fuck? That's so
right.
sick.
So
Yeah,
when people say the thing to us, it's like, hey, man, like I know how you feel, but like we're here now, so let's kick it.
let's try to get
Yeah,
these guys
and
up.
we always say too, like we were always here. You know what I mean? Like, people of color were always making bands. It's
Yeah.
not like a new thing, but it's like people are more apparent now, which is cool. But yeah, it's definitely an awesome, heartwarming thing, and we're kind of just here to hang out and spread the love.
Yeah, these guys just didn't like manifest out of thin air. They're not like NPC characters that were like generated.
Right,
I'm
right.
just telling you. I think I think for me, like, the first instance where I was like, oh shit, like someone else that's like not white is in like a band, like Eric Choi from We Came as Romans. Like that was like peak. I was like, oh, my guy Eric, all right, respect. And I think
That's a good. It's a good pick.
that was like, for me, that was like, okay, he's in a metal band, like a metalcore band, like an OG like metalcore band, and it was just such a cool experience for me to just see him in that aspect. And obviously there's probably other ones that I am completely blanking on at the moment, but that was like the first instance where I was like, that's awesome. And like, like Blake said, it's always been around, but I feel like especially more so in like the more niche scenes, it's a little bit more nuanced. But I'm glad that, again, you guys are offering that representation. And guys, I'm already going to tell you this multiple times throughout this entire interview, but check out Action Adventure. All of the links will be down below. But the next question I have for you guys, I'm sure you also get asked this a lot as well. Who got you started out on your respective instrument? Who kind of molded you early on in your music career? And who influences your style more currently now?
The first half of that question, I don't think we've been asked yet in an interview.
That's a newer question for sure.
Oh,
Actually,
thank you.
That's good. That's a good question.
Thank you. Thank you.
Um, I think my uncle gave me a guitar when I was probably like 10,
Ooh, nice. All right.
and he's been playing for he had already been playing for years, and he was like, oh, this would be a cool hobby for you to do and like us to do together and stuff. So that was definitely my catalyst, and I still have that guitar
Oh,
to this
that's
day.
so sick.
I play it every day. It's awesome. It's probably my most prized possession. So that's uh, that's it. That's it for me.
Blake, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, for me, like I do vocals, but my introduction to the genre was just like guitar. I was a guitar
Ooh,
player. Of
nice. All
course,
right.
like I did the classic path, though. I did take the piano lessons, man. And I rocked the keys for a while, and I never like hated. Like I enjoyed playing it, but I definitely had aspirations to play some punk rock. 'Cause I had an older sister. She's 7 years older than me, and like Drive Through Records, that whole 2000s niche of like
Ooh,
punk rock
yeah.
was like, all the rage. So like when she drive me around or when she'd be watching MTV, like you just take it all in, the newfound glories of the world. And I was like, man, that shit's rad. So I pretty much picked up a guitar and just hit the ground running.
There we go. And Bronson, what I gotta ask, as a guitar player myself, what guitar is it? Because I feel like that's that you. I'm sure you can cherish that certainly, but
Yeah, so it's weird. It probably shouldn't have been my first guitar, but it's an '87 American Strat.
woo! Wow, holy shit! All
Yeah,
right.
so it's pretty tight. I love it. It's honestly like every time I get a guitar, I like hold that guitar to the standard of that Strat. Nothing has touched it yet. I do have a Gallagher that is very close,
Okay.
and it's awesome. It's very very close, but
It's like neck and neck. Yeah.
it's just a little a little bit, but yeah, definitely should not have been my first guitar at all. Absolutely not. There's no reason. And still to this day, I'm like, dude, why did you give me this?
Yeah, I would be. Listen, I'd be stoked. I would take that. I would, because I got one of those like beginner guitars that you get in a box, like the one that you would expect to get when you like don't know how to play an instrument. So I feel that that's like that one hit a little close, but then you're like, oh, I got this like this 87 Strat. Hey, that was my first guitar, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm just gonna see myself out, But that's
It
awesome.
is it is also, I do want to say, by far my nicest guitar. Like I am poor, so like I don't have like insanely nice instruments
But that one's
except for
peak.
that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. But yeah, I like that. Always like trying to find out like how people start out in their music careers, and like I said, been following you guys for a little bit now, so it's cool to see the progression and where you start from and where you're at now. But in terms of people who maybe aren't familiar with action and adventure, wind up clicking on this interview and are like, I like these guys. These guys are cool. What song would you recommend to a new listener to check out to give them an idea of your band and your sound?
Tricky, tricky.
That's a really tricky question. I mean, I feel like the record has a lot of different sounds. And part of the reason of that is because all five of us play guitar relatively proficiently.
What?
Yeah,
Oh my
Blake
god.
Blake Blake is actually better at guitar than I am.
All right,
So
take it easy, Mike.
I mean, um, yeah, everybody contributes riffs and chord progressions. So and
Okay.
everybody listens to a lot of different types of music.
I don't know, man. I feel like I don't know if you froze, but
I think he's frozen. Yeah.
but yeah, I will say
So
like,
our taste is a
oh, there it is.
Yo,
You're frozen, bro.
back.
oh.
Am I back? I think I'm back.
You're back. You're
I'm
back.
back now. Oh, for sure. All of our tastes in music are super eclectic. So as a band, so like there's a lot of different influences.
Okay.
We have a lot of different like parts sound very different from each other. Like Reaper and Tuck sound nothing alike. Like they don't sound like two different bands, but they definitely don't sound alike.
Fair enough. Yeah, I would
I
agree with
mean,
that.
I'd probably just pick the short songs, man. Imposter Syndrome or Barricades. I probably would be like the segue,
Ooh.
only because, like I always say, it's just like we can riff, we can write some catchy stuff, and like if you don't like it, then like you probably won't like us. But like those ones I think are sick, and like those are songs like we just like rip. You know
Okay.
what I mean? Like it's a sample platter, charcuterie board of like what we can do, and it kind of gives people like ideas and snippets of like what the record could sound like and what we're capable of. And I don't say those are our best songs per se, but those are ones where it's like, here's a minute of your time. You know what I mean? 'Cause-
I
They,
got
they
you.
are more easily digestible for sure.
yeah, there it is. Yeah, so in and out.
There we go.
Elevator pitch.
Yeah, it's like I feel like whenever I ask this question, it's a little divisive because obviously these songs are your babies, certainly, and I understand that. But I always find that if I'm trying to check out a new band, why not get it directly from the source, right? I think that that's like one of the coolest things about like interviewing bands, at least from my perspective, is like finding out, okay, like which song do I feel like is the most palatable to like a large audience, and then if that song sucks me in, like what are other songs that are a little bit like more nuanced that I'm like, oh shit, like this is really cool. I would have never expected this song to be on Imposter Syndrome, but it is. So I think that that's really cool. So hopefully these are good gateway songs, guys. Just listen to the whole album. It's all bangers, all heat, so you heard it straight from me. I'll tell you what's up. But I really loved it. I thought it was fantastic. I've been spinning it for like roughly a week, give or take, and I've just been jamming it super hard. So I'll again leave links. Listen, if you like to buy vinyl, they got some tasty vinyls on the site. So I'm just saying, if you like if you like the frisbees, then do it up, But awesome, guys. The next question I have for you, kind of a nice segue, but what are some of the bands on your Spotify? What are you currently listening to that you've been jamming recently?
I feel like I've been listening to a lot of the Wonder Years recently.
Oh, their new album's good.
The new record is just so good. So good.
We just got off tour with the Hawthorne Heights and Armor for Sleep.
Oh, yeah.
We
Hey,
listened to those songs now. It's like, man, I have memories of this in high school, but now I have memories as an adult. So
that must be
it's kind of a cool
peak.
juxtaposition for sure. But yeah, now it's like when I go back and listen to some of these Hawthorne Heights songs, like, man, tight.
I saw them do this live on tour every night. That's
Yeah.
rad.
I've also been listening to a lot of Hawthorne Heights and a lot of Armor for Sleep.
We miss them.
Yeah, we miss the homies. They're like our cool, slightly, not by much, but a little bit older uncles.
Respect. Yeah. I feel that way as someone who is turning 30 next year. I like look back at some of the albums.
I'll be there with you, bro.
Oh, me and Blake, same age. I love it.
I've been there for a little bit, so y'all have fun.
I gotta say, Blake and I think we have like the young genes, because someone mistook me. They're like, "Oh, you must be like in your early 20s," and I'm like, "Well, sorry, yeah, I'm not."
What are you actually?
And they're like, "How old are you then?" And I was like, "I'm gonna be 30 in March," and they're like, "What?" So,
wow, same with Blake.
March 1st.
Look, nah. Are you fucking serious?
No,
my birthday is also March 1st. Oh my god. Yo, are we brothers?
Oh my gosh.
I'm dead serious. Dead ass.
Damn, dude.
Y'all are legit twins.
Yo, we
B's,
internet high five. Oh yeah.
All the A's, Jesus Christ.
We got B's, we got the birthdays. Yo.
Dude. This is
We're long lost, bro. I'm not even joking. Like, this is not a bit, guys. I swear to God.
I mean, even if you are joking, keep it going. I think it's great. It's awesome.
I'm not gonna like flash my like driver's license up. Everybody sees like where I live and shit.
Dude, that's rad, man. We could have been leap year babies, but here
we are. We could have been, but we're not. So respect,
That's awesome.
That's why that's this. If there was any breaking point in this interview, that was the moment. But
heck yeah, man.
Oh man, you had some great answers. I love the fact that you guys again are very in that scene, like the Hawthorne Heights. You got Armor for Sleep, the Wonder Years. I think that that's really awesome. You guys are taking a lot of notes. And listen, Wonder Years. I'm from PA. Like, listen, I'm just saying, like, take them on tour. I mean, I would go out to that. Come on, let's go.
Let them know.
Let them know. But The next question I have for you guys, with the recent surgence of bands getting back together, are there any bands that you can think of that you're like, man, I wish this band got back together?
Sick question. Sick question.
That is a great question.
Thank you. Try to keep it interesting. Yeah.
You know, it's weird. Honestly, one of the bands that I really wanted to see play another show was Amber Pacific, and lo and behold, we just played with them like a few
What?
weeks ago.
Oh
So
man, that is so sick. Kudos.
that was tight. That was great. That was awesome.
That was a really cool one. I think for me, and it's crazy because like there's a lot of bands like I just miss. I feel like it's for me, Man Overboard, man. I don't know where y'all are up to. I
Oh,
know
dude, that would
like
be
tell
so
you
cool.
in stories so far, and I went to they had like a 10-year anniversary show in New York, and like I flew out to see it. And
Whew.
oh, so yeah, miss those dudes. Patiently awaiting their return.
I know Nick is a producer. He produces I know he produces in New Jersey, so big shout outs to him. I think he's doing some really great stuff. So I mean, I'm not gonna rule it out. There is some bands that I didn't think would ever get back together and got back together. So you know, the
100%.
cards.
Dude, Armor was one of those bands for me.
Oh
I didn't
yeah,
think that was gonna happen, and then they came out with this awesome record. And then it's like, oh, you guys are gonna just go on tour with them, and I was like, what?
That was a sick one, dude. And especially like again, like when you were growing up, you're like, man, I missed that window. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
like, you
Oh
never
my
know.
god.
You really never know, and it's a crazy, crazy industry, man.
Yeah, I think it's a cool like whenever I have like bands on and they're like, yeah, I'd really love to tour with this band, and then they're like they're broken up, so I don't know if they're gonna do it, and then they get back together and then take you out on tour. It's like I've talked to bands like that, and for me, it's like I feel your joy on being like, oh my god, this is so sick. You know, like a band I grew up listening to now is like enshrined in my life somewhat. So I think that that's really neat. So shout out to Armor for Sleep, also a New Jersey band. So big salutes as a former New Jerseyan, you know.
Heck yeah.
But the next question I have for you guys is another fun one. What is a song you guys would like to cover?
We talk about covers a lot too.
We do talk about covers a lot. We just did two that we really wanted to do.
They are very good. I'm not gonna lie. They were fire.
Thank you. Thank you. The anxiety cover, the Meet Me at Our Spot cover was super fun, so that was cool. I still want to, Blake, I still want to do Jumper. I think that was a good one.
We did do Jumper for on tour. Like we've done it before
Ooh.
live. You know?
All
We've
right.
done it live. We've never recorded it, but I would like to record it. I think that would be pretty cool.
I'm always trying to do the Two Door Cinema Club, man. I just really want to do what you know, or undercover Martian band.
Dude, Undercover would be really cool.
Yeah,
I feel like that would be tight.
Toss those around for sure. Action has definitely like a catalog of songs we've like discussed, but Jumper has come to fruition, and that cover was sick.
I feel like you guys gotta record like a actual cover. I think that'd be kind of tight. I'd be about it.
I have the demo. I have the demo on my computer, so
Oh
we'll see,
man!
man.
All
We'll
right.
see.
It's
in the
cooking. It's cooking. There we go. Well, guys, if you have any suggestion for action adventure in terms of cover song, drop them in the comments. I'm sure they're gonna check them out. Who knows? They might be a cover. Who knows? I'm gonna put it out there. But the next question I have for you guys, if you could have a dream collaboration, who would you love to have on an up and coming action adventure album or EP?
These are like not just easy rapid fire ones.
I really make you work for it, man. You know.
This is good. I like the loaded questions.
Thank
It's really
you.
making me think because I have like a knee jerk reaction. Then I'm like,
Let me really think about that. Yeah. Don't worry, you're not the first prompted. I feel like there's people that are just like, okay, let me think about it.
See, it's crazy because like you have dream ones where it's like, man, that'd be cool to get, this band. But like I've always been a fan of like getting bands that like you haven't seen in a while. You're
Okay.
Like, whoa, they got that dude on this track. You know what I mean? Like that's always cool to me.
How about you guys give me a realistic one? Like you feel like, okay, this is definitely a possibility, and one that's just like, yo, we're gonna manifest this shit. I don't care, like whatever stars or like things have to align. It's gonna happen. You know.
I mean, keep trying to get Dan the Wonder Years because his feature in Trash Boat is amazing.
You're right. You're right.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
right.
Strangers, yeah, dude, those.
Gosh, yeah, I was like, wow, what a good feature collab, man. And I was like, I want to do that. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
That was, that was
100%.
sick.
Yeah.
That was a sick one.
it's crazy.
I think it'd be really cool to do some 4-part harmonies with 4 Years Strong.
That would be really gnarly. That'd be really cool.
It would just be sick. All of us just yelling shit, like,
I.
yelling shit, kind of in key.
That'd be pretty awesome.
You guys are label mates, so I feel.
We are. That we are.
That's the. I'm trying to think of like a ridiculous one to manifest.
I think that's feasible. I think 4 Years Strong
sure.
is definitely feasible, 100%.
One of these days.
I know
he
Dan and
just-
Alan watch my shit, so shout.
You know, it's that the PA love, man.
Yeah,
But yeah, those
that's
are
what we're
nice.
going with. All right, I
We'll go
like
with
it,
those.
guys. Listen, I'm a man of the people here. So what you do is you go on Twitter. I know it's a dumpster fire, but this is the perfect time to do it right now while it's a dumpster fire. It's like, it's like the Trojan horse, when you're like, we're sneaking this shit into battle, right? So what you do is you go on Twitter, you tag Action Adventure, and then you also tag 4 Years Strong, and as well Dan from the Wonder Years, or just at Wonder Years, whatever. They're both the same thing. And then you type in collab ? And again, I keep saying this all the time. I don't want you at me. I don't want you to come after me. This is like not a legally binding contract, but I mean it's on Twitter, so like
Rally the troops, man.
I mean it's there, like, so I feel like if there's enough pull behind it, Pure Noise. I mean, at Pure Noise too. Like, I'm just spitballing here. So could happen.
Hell yeah, manifest it.
Manifest it.
We'll manifest it. Let's just make it happen.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. All right, guys, let's do it. You know what to do. Do it. We'll do it. Have this video up, and then also do it on Twitter. So thank you.
Yeah.
But the next question I have for you guys is, I alluded to it earlier, and as you can tell here, I'm very much a nerd. So I have to ask this question. If you guys could be a video game character, who would you be? Blake's face.
It's like there's just so many like follow-up. It's like, do we have to
His
exist
face.
in that universe?
Oh my god.
Like, do we exist in that universe? Is that how?
Right. That's a
Yes,
good
yeah.
question. Like, are we in this universe or are we in that universe?
You're in the universe of your choosing.
Oh
Oh,
man,
that makes it even harder because it's
that's
not even
always
like
weird, man. It's always weird.
life. That's
I
like-
appreciate the dedication to the answer though.
So I spend a lot of my time thinking about like, damn, I wish I had powers.
Now
So, like,
now you can lay it all out in video format.
I don't.
We're gonna go through the 5 stages of grief with Brompton right now.
Okay. I don't know, Blake. You might have to go first, bro. Like, I
Well,
don't.
it's hard because like all my favorite games are like horror games. So I wouldn't want to exist in the universe per se, but I mean, it'd be cool to like be an omniscient narrator, spectator, and just watching it unfold.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's hard, man, to like choose. Like, I guess if I had to like live in a universe, I'd probably pick something boring and minutiae, like live in the Animal Crossing universe and just like chill and kick back all day.
Just like talk in their like Animal
hang
Crossing
out.
language.
Yeah, like that seems like the easy going. But I mean, like, I love like the Resident Evil series, and I always kind of loved like I always like love the concept of like existing in a Raccoon City and just like seeing. Like, I'm a sucker for like in-game universes, so like
Okay.
when I see like Umbrella Corporation logos around, I'm like, whoa, it's like an interesting thing. But yeah, that's not really answer your question, but that's why I like lay down the ground rules because it's like it's a big question for us.
That is yeah. I felt like I was asking the right crowd for this. So
So let's figure out, does it have to also be a video game, or can it be some other form of media?
I feel like if you're trying to fill it under the umbrella of like anime, like if there is a video game related to said subject, then that's in the ground rules. Obviously, if it's just like like a manga or something that's like not video game adapted, then I can't give it the pass. You know, I'm not the ruler or bearer
for
over
sure.
this question, but
For sure. For sure. For sure.
We just respect the question.
So, yeah.
Blake's like,
I
I
mean,
answered it, man. All right, so
yeah. No, you're good. So I mean, like, it would suck to live in. I'll just give two real quick ones. So it would
okay,
suck to live in this universe, but to be a god in God of War
fair enough. Yeah,
would be cool, but like Kratos would probably come and kill me. So like I don't really want to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? It would be cool
respect.
up until that point. Um, and I've thought about that one long and hard. I'm just like, what kind of god would I have to be to take on Kratos? And it's like, well, he kills everyone all the time. So I don't really think I'm surviving that. There's just no way that I'm going to get past that. Yes, if we're going like, you know, games based on other forms of media, I mean, I would probably want to be someone in like the Naruto universe, like being a ninja would
Okay,
be fucking cool. That would be tight. And I know that's like the most basic anime ever, and people who watch anime would be like,
They had that fighting game.
yeah,
like,
yeah. I was gonna say they had the fighting game. Yeah,
They had the fighting games.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like,
That checks out, yeah.
I'm trying to like punch somebody in the face and then like substitution jutsu and like be all the way over here, but then like they like punch like a log or something, and then I just like come down. Like, yes, I want to do that to somebody. Like that sounds dope.
Hell yeah.
he just wants to summon a log. You know, he's like, ah, and then the log just drops. You know, I respect that. I like that. Brompton, that was a solid choice. Certainly, and Blake again, also solid choice. I feel like most people know my answer. I would love to be a Pokemon trainer. More specifically, Gen 2. Gen 2's the goated generation.
No,
Don't at
Sudowoodo, let's go.
don't at me. Don't at me in the comments. You know it's true.
It's
Gen
voted out going, okay, I'm about that.
I'm not. I'm a cynical John, man. That's I'm fire type for life, baby. You know.
So you think that Typhlosion would just like shit on for alligator, or like what are you thinking?
Well,
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
listen, the type advantage, all right. So like that's that
Yeah,
I'm already
okay,
losing that
fine.
battle here, all right. So you know, I'm just gonna say that. I mean, if it's like Hisuian Typhlosion, maybe there might be a better chance, you know. But yeah,
For sure.
yeah. So I don't know. I feel like that's good. But I will say for like Gen 2, all of the like final evolutions, goated. You know, I love them
If
all.
you could have one Pokemon, what Pokemon would it be? Yeah, I'm asking you a question.
Oh,
now.
I love this. I love this, Brompton. You hit it right on the nail. I love this. Okay. All right, let me think about this. If I could have, like, it would just follow me around like my pet.
What? Like one for a pet, but then also one for fighting. I'll give you two.
Okay,
Let's go.
okay.
Let's go.
One for pet. God, I feel like I gotta pick like a really cute Pokemon. I like Cyndaquil. I think I'll stick with Cyndaquil as my pet Pokemon, as my like destroy villages Pokemon.
Villages.
I feel like I gotta go with the goat, Absol. That
Oh, okay.
that I mean, come on,
Yeah.
that's like a goated design, you know. I that is like one of my favorite, like completely designed Pokemon. I would say runner up, Flygon would be really tight.
That's also a good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Heck yeah, I love like you just thought about the answer and gave us some real ones, man.
Gen 3 is great too. I'll say like I would say 2, 3, and 4 really good. Obviously first gen. I mean first gen's great, but I feel like, you know, everybody's just like, "Oh, I love first gen. First gen's great," you know, but second gen, that's where it's at, boys. So, again, guys, don't at me in the comments. I don't want to see any slander for Gen 2 in the comments down below. I'll make sure to just roast the shit. No, I'm kidding. I won't do that. But we're going to move it on to the next question, which is another fun one, guys. If you were to compile a dream tour lineup, including action adventure, who would be on it?
I don't know. I mean, for you're strong, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, I was literally just thinking like, who other than 4 years strong would be on this tour?
Fair enough.
It's a question like we can name a million bands we'd have it on the dream lineup, but that's always the first one.
I got it. I got it.
Okay, hit me, Brompton.
I think it would be the Wonder Years, 4 Years Strong, us, and Honey Creek.
Yay!
Oh wow, I like that. That's a good one. I would go see that 100%. Blake,
Yeah.
what do you
I
got?
mean, that's pretty much the same. Like, it echoes the sentiment, man. It's what I like about it too. It's like Honey Creek's like one of our homies. They're a band from Milwaukee, and like you want bands that like you grew up and you love, but it's like talk about the homies too, you know. And that sounds like a really fun tour.
I would also be okay with like Infinity, like pre-hiatus Fall Out Boy.
One of those like we're only playing old stuff this tour.
Yeah. Let me get on that.
Yeah, like From Under the Cork Tree. Like,
Right.
okay,
Take Us
yeah,
to Your
respect.
Grave, Spinning on High, Folly. Yeah.
I could notice there was like a little bit of like OG Fallout Boy in your stuff, like in action adventure. There was just a little smidge,
Sprinkle it in there for
little
sure.
sprinkle in there. Yeah, I was thinking in terms of, I know we already talked about like guest features, but like an OG Patrick Stump feature, like Transit, like when he hopped on that Transit track, bro.
That was wild. Always heart, man.
Yeah.
That's a
like,
goated track. Yeah, so you know. Look, Patrick Stump. I know you're not really doing the the whole like indie alternative stuff anymore. But could you just like one time just do it for the boys here, action adventure? Come on,
Chicago homies.
We're also from Chicago, so
Yeah.
So say less. No, Patrick Stump. Say less. So he's gonna be rolling up to the studio later. Keep your eyes peeled, guys. New track with Patrick Stump dropping soon. Keep the DMs open. But the next question, guys, you've seen a lot of bands, I'm sure, live. But in your opinion, who puts on a great live performance?
You're just gonna keep having us say the same band.
I feel like I'm just gonna like whatever answer you have, I'm just gonna cut over like 4 Years Strong. Just gonna like throw it up.
I mean, that's the one,
and
also the Wonder Years.
Yeah, 100%. I will say, so it's like I can judge this one for my answer real quick because like we went to the When We Were Young fest, whatever. And honestly, growing up, I didn't really listen to Pierce the Veil that much.
I was just about to bring up Pierce the Veil.
Yeah, I never really listened to them that much. But when I saw them live, I was like, those dudes put on a fucking show. Those dudes slapped live.
They do, yeah.
So on the other end of that, I fucking love Pierce the Veil. And then still they slap. Like they have slapped the entire time. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. I don't know like how they just be doing somersaults while playing their instruments.
Yeah, those dudes.
They be throwing shit in the air and like swinging it around and shit. And I'm like, yo, y'all got way more money than me because like my I can't risk that.
Right, and all the interludes with like the Mexican music, the style, it's like it's just such a good vibe, man. It was
it's tight. It's super.
Yeah, it was cool. It was one of those times I was like, wow, I'm just kind of watching this objectively, and these guys are destroying. It was such a sick show.
They're one. I think they were legitimately one of the first bands outside of like an Under Oath or like an August Burns Red that I've seen live, and that was fantastic. It was the No Guts No Glory tour, which was like Miss May I. I forget who else was on that tour. I know Let Live opened the show.
Was it Let Live and then Pierce the Veil was on there and then
Miss May I and Pierce the Veil co-headlined.
Yes. And then, oh my God, who was the 204 on that?
That's what I was trying to figure. Who was the third one? Because I know who Let Live opened the show. I can't remember. I'll throw it up in post when I put the photo up here. But yeah, that was like, if I really search back in my like Facebook history, I have a photo with like all the Pierce the Veil guys, and I look.
Heck yeah.
As if I already look young. I look even younger somehow.
Oh yeah.
Your boy's like, I'm an infant. I'm just like, at the show. No. But yeah, that was fantastic. And I'd seen them, God, like so many more times after that. And they're a great band to see live. So I'm glad that they're back and kicking it and doing stuff. So shouts to Pierce the Veil. That's one band that's on my like bucket list to interview at some point. So that's my manifestation is Pierce the Veil.
You got it, dude.
Let's do it. Let's do it, guys. But the next question I have for you is favorite TV show, favorite movie.
God damn it, man.
I really feel like I'm just hitting Brompton in like the gut right now.
I'm such a media whore. Like like,
Right.
dude, ask Blake. Like the rate at which I consume media is
Yeah. No,
is
you consume like crazy. And I'm like the opposite. Like I'll consume one and then just like marinate in it for like a week.
Fair enough. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm kind of the same way.
But again, if I have to choose, which is hard to choose, but I can do it because I have like my top threes usually. But favorite movie, definitely Jurassic Park. I have like so much miscellaneous Jurassic Park memorabilia in my apartment. It's absurd. But it's fucking awesome.
Respect.
And favorite TV show, definitely rough. I'm a huge Community fan. Dan Levin's
Yes.
Community
Oh,
is like my fucking jam. And 6 seasons in a movie. They're making it happen.
yes. I'm so
Uh,
stoked.
Fucking go, Greendale, baby. But
Woo!
yeah, those are definitely my top two, and I have a bunch of runner-ups. But there's one question, like, you know what? I know this one. Passing it on to you, dog.
Salutes.
I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Like I'm a
Oh,
huge
yeah.
Star Wars fan. So we're just gonna say Star Wars in general for movies.
Okay, I'll give you this. I'll give you the pass.
It's gonna be a long conversation if we get into which one is the best and which one is my favorite, because those are two completely different movies. And I feel like probably like the show that I could probably just watch over and over and over again is probably Parks and Rec. Like I love that show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's just like it's just Parks and Rec for sure. There's other like Game of Thrones is cool and like there's other cool shit, but I mean it's Parks and Rec. It's the one that I always go back to. Yeah, I don't really rewatch shows that much, so yeah.
Well, considering that in your words you said you're a media whore, so I feel it comes
It's
with the
like
territory.
it's like really bad. Like I just consume new media at I would say even I say it's an alarming rate. Like I'll just
Pretty wild.
yeah, it sucks.
Do you just like binge? Like I need to know what the thought process
So, like,
is.
I don't know. I feel like I caught the first watch feeling of things.
Okay,
So I'm
okay.
always looking for new shit to watch. So I'm always watching new shit.
I get the itch to like if I'm watching an episode like on Netflix or something, I'm just like, man, if I just like watch one more episode, I think I'll be cool after that. And then they like leave you on like a cliffhanger and you're like, man, if I just watch this other episode after
Right.
this one, like I'll be set.
Right.
And then by the
Mhm.
time you look at the clock, you've watched through the entire season and you're like, man, you know what'd be really cool is if I started watching the second season of this TV show and then you
That's
just go.
literally that is exactly my life. That is exactly what happens to me. And it's terrible because I just don't sleep.
Facts. Shouts to musicians and people in media not getting any sleep. Big salutes. But the next question I have for you guys: if you were trapped on a desert island for the next month, and there was one album you could bring with you to listen to, what album would it be?
Well, we all know that my answer is going to be a 4 Year Strong record. So,
But which one though?
Oh my God. You know what? It's not a 4 Year Strong record.
Oh,
Probably going to be Lost in the Sound of Separation by Under Oath.
oh,
I think that I can listen to that record over and over and over and over again. Followed by like probably Roots by Prada.
oh, man.
Yeah, I know I've been
Too
talking a lot
heat.
about pop punk, but I mean I'm really just a scene kid at heart. Like
I feel
I
that.
listen to more metalcore than anything. So
That's wild.
yeah.
I'm waiting for a blast beat on the next action adventure song.
Well, I mean a lot of
We're
like
almost there.
weird breakdowns and shits. That's definitely where it comes from.
Yeah. So if I was on an island, I mean, it's hard to choose. I guess just for the irony and the lulls, direction by the starting line, just so I can put
Ah,
island on an
Island.
island and be like,
Bless.
like that'd be kind of funny. And
I'd be
even then,
about
like
it.
definitely like my favorite starting line album is probably based on a true story, but it'd be cool to visit Direction being deserted and listening to Island on an Island.
I mean, yeah, 100%. That record is so good. That is like one of my favorite albums of all time. So definitely can resonate with that. And I love Brompton's picks as again a scene kid. I again I think I've said this a couple different times, but I still think Lost in Sound of Separation is the best Under Oath record. Again,
Yes.
don't at me,
Yes.
don't at me, but
Yes.
I think it's the best. I
Ooh,
think it's the best one, arguably.
absolutely.
So
I'll fight
please
somebody
fight
about
me
that.
in the
Let's
comments.
go.
I'm ready to take the
It's gonna be
challenge on.
fucking me and you versus everybody, bro. Let's
Hey,
go.
there we go. I got the squad. Let me know down below. Would love to know. But yeah, those are some really fantastic picks. So salutes to you guys. But the last question I have for you guys, obviously, then you can plug action adventure certainly. But what do you want people to take away from action adventure? I always find that when I have people on, I just love having these conversations, and I think it opens up a lot of opportunities for people to find out about the bands, and that we're all human. We love being in the music scene for a reason. So what makes you want to release music? Why did you decide to be in a band and do this, and like want to share that experience with other people? I know that's a loaded question, but
Just like the fucking king of loaded questions,
hey, I'm about it. I'll put on a shirt.
man. Oh, Blake, you go.
Oh, sure. Um, I mean, dude, for me, it's like if you go to everyone like one of our live shows too, it's like um, pretty much when I like, growing up, we're talking about bands that influenced us, like seeing the Wonder Years and seeing Soupy Dan like really take control of the crowd and like just talk about all this like awesome stuff on stage and being positive, being real with the audience. I feel like that's what I love about being making music the most is like sharing a part of yourself and everyone around you and telling your story. And if people can kind of like hear what we have to say and walk away with something that affects them, whether it's wow that was fun or wow that changed my life, either or would be great. But I kind of just hope people hear that we're just genuine real people who just love playing music, because the music scene, especially now, it's always weird because it's like some people are just doing it for clout and are just doing it
That's
just for
fair.
the fun. But like I hope people listen to action like wow, these are real dudes doing real things that also like crazy media. So yeah, I don't know how to really put it, but yeah, I just hope
Respect, yeah.
just regular schmegular dudes.
That's that's our whole thing. Just regular schmegular dudes. Like we should put that on a fucking shirt.
I like
Yeah,
the experience on
I would
action
buy it.
adventure.
100%.
Action adventure,
Regular
we're
dudes.
regular as fuck. Like
Yeah,
Regular as fuck. Yeah.
that's really what it is, man. Like we kind of just roll up on stage like in our just, flannels and jeans, nothing too
Hey,
crazy, and just kind of go nuts. We're kind of just here to make music that we give a shit about and hope people can take something from it.
I think that it's really important that like people just relate to what we're talking about in the
sure.
songs and what Blake is and I are talking about on stage. Like we have the most normal life experiences. You know, we're going through the normal shit and the minutia, and it fucking sucks. It sucks every day. It's life is pain, existence is pain. We all know that,
Yeah.
But like for that 30 minutes that we get to go out there and play that set, it makes the other 23 and a half hours of that day completely worth it. And it just everything melts away. Half the time I black out and I don't even know what the fuck happened during the set. I've heard that I get kind of confrontational, but it's okay. It's cool. It
It's
is
an
what it
alter
is.
ego.
You know, it's just the most fun that I've ever had in my entire life is playing music with these four other people. And this is what I want to do every day for the rest of my life. And that's just what I hope people can share in with it. Like that we can share that with people, that people can relate to that and be like, wow, those dudes are really just having the time of their lives, and I'm gonna have the time of my life right now. This is gonna be a release from my everyday stressors and my workday and all the bullshit that I have to deal with all the time.
Yeah.
If we can provide that, that like slight reprieve that can, maybe keep somebody going just a little bit longer, like that's super important because I know bands have done that for me. So I want to be, pay it forward and do it for other people.
There we go. And I feel like that's a great message to have. And it is the ultimate segue to the last thing, guys. Tell the people where they can find Action Adventure at, what you guys have coming up in the up and coming future, and anything else you want to plug or talk about.
Yep. I mean, Jam, the new record, Imposter Syndrome. It's on all streaming platforms. You can check it out on the Spotify's of the world, the Apple Musics of the world, anywhere. And, we're also on, you can check us out on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, MySpace, Club Penguin, RuneScape, LimeWire, Zanga. We got it all, baby.
But we are not responsible for any viruses that you
True that.
might.
Action_adventure 0379. Imposter Syndrome XXX.
Hey, there we go. Well, guys, listen, go check out Action Adventure. They're awesome. Legitimately, Imposter Syndrome, fantastic album. I will wind up doing some sort of review of it on the channel, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And please go pick it up. Links in the description. All of their social media as well will be in the description. Go give them a follow. Hopefully, they'll be hitting your area in 2023. Don't tell them to come to Brazil. That doesn't exist. Brazil doesn't exist. No, I'm just kidding.
Come to Brazil.
I'm just kidding. But definitely please go follow them on social media. They're awesome, cool dudes that make even better music. So please go give them some love. If you enjoyed this interview, share, like, and subscribe. It goes a long way. It will also be on audio formats on Spotify, Apple Music, all that stuff. So if you don't want to watch us, which I'll be really sad if you don't want to look at us, but I'll live. So please go check them out. And huge thanks to Blake and Brompton for coming on.
Thanks for having us, man. Really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
this was a lot of fun.
Anybody who doesn't want to watch this is a fucking coward. we're all pretty, pretty decent looking. We're young. We look young. All right. We look
All
younger
young.
than we actually are. So come on.
There's your album teaser right there. Put that on the socials.